All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim and her pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad, may the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon their houses. So Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. It's going to be a quick lesson, man, through the spirit, man, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. Hey, but here we go, man, right? More talks, right, of censorship. Right, more talks is, as you see right here, Hillary Clinton. It's on the People's Voice.tv. It says Hillary Clinton calls for global thought police with power to arrest U.S. citizens. So ultimately, what Esau Edom wants, right, goes back to, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Matter of fact, we'll grab that right before we get into this article, right? This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God, right? So Esau has this God complex, right? He wants to be, it's kind of like a Napoleon complex, right? If you never heard of that, right, ultimately look it up. It's when somebody is short and they want to, they want to sit here and have some type of like anger issues at everybody in the goddamn world, right, because they're short. Well, Esau has a God complex, right? He wants to be the Most High, He wants to be the Most High. And this is what this precept is going into. Esau has that God complex where he wants to be in control of everything, right? He wants to have rule over everything, right? And this includes your thoughts, man, which ultimately goes back to, the MO to the TB, right? The mark of the beast, which is the RFID micro C-hip. With that, right, he will be able to, look into your thoughts, right? And be able to control the thoughts that you have, right? By excluding you from certain services or certain things, right, that you participate in, right? Which the average person, man, they want to be able to go out and have freedoms and this, that, and the third. Well, in order for you to be able to have and do those things, hey, well, you got to operate under Esau's guidelines, right? On how to think, how to move, what to eat, what not to eat, right? Again, going back to his godlike complex, right, that he has. He wants to be able to control everything. And this is what this article touches on, right? It says, after the world, it's like at the World Forum 2025 in Berlin, Hillary Clinton demanded a crackdown on free speech via the formation of a global thought police unit with powers to arrest U.S. citizens. And this is a rhetoric that's been happening all across the world, especially over in the UK, heavy. Right? There was a woman, she was standing outside her home and she was praying in her mind, and she ultimately got arrested, man, right? For praying, in public, right? Which they made, ultimately a crime. Salakia. It says once the U.S. Secretary of State, now a self-appointed guardian of truth, right, quotations, right, it says Clinton framed her censorship crusade as a heroic stand against autocrats, however you say that, right? It says her Berlin stage was the perfect irony, a call for control dressed as salvation from a woman who can't quite let go of the spotlight, right? It says, as a quote, it says, we now have a government in the U.S. that has thrown in its lot with the autocrats, which has made a choice to support those who wage war, not peace. She also accused the incumbent administration of U.S. President Donald Trump of giving enormous power to the men who control the information flow in our world, and pledging allegiance to the continuation of algorithms that not only addict us, but poison us with hatred and fear. Information determines how we think, and how we think determines what we say, and what we say determines what we do. So she ultimately wants to control, right, that information, that flow of information, right, making it to where you only able to see and understand and perceive, right, what they want you to understand and perceive and see. Again, the control factor, right? It says So it continued. Clinton, she also made reference to the novel 1984 by George Orwell in her speech at the event, which is ultimately that's what society is leading to, right? An Orwellian society, right? And you can actually go into that, but it ultimately talks about a society, right, controlled by the few, right? Thought police, right? That shit's insane, right? You want to control my thoughts? Like, that's some fucking bugged out shit, man. But see, that's Esau Edom, man. Right? It says, where there are no facts that are agreed upon that happen right before our eyes, you have leaders telling you ignore it. Right? It says that Russian President Vladimir Putin did not invade Ukraine, that Ukraine somehow brought it upon itself. Well, there are no facts, that cannot be true. And where there is no truth, there cannot be trust. And where there is no trust, there cannot be democracy and peace, right? Which is a cut on them, right? Because Esau's always saying stupid shit, especially when it came to the Crown Vic Royale, saying that it was going to help you, this, that, and the third, right? And end up hurting more people, man. He didn't show no facts, right? Showing that it was going to hurt you. See, this is what the men of the Lord did. We pointed those things out, and that's what they called, misinformation or disinformation, or hate or harmful content, right? See, they labeled us under these different, tags, right? Because we're speaking the truth, so this damn devil's a fucking hypocrite, man, as a straight up fucking hypocrite, man. It says Clinton's passionate argument during his speech in Berlin hinges on the idea that information shapes thought, thought shapes speeches, and speech shapes action. So they want to control everything that you do, right? It says, however, her vision is controlling information to shape reality raises critical questions about who decides what constitute facts and truth, right? They determine what the facts are. They determine what the truth is, right? Rather than the actual truth of the matter, rather than actual facts coming out, right? Because then they'll dispute it and say, no, that's not true. Fucking devils, man. It says her long-standing crusade against freedom of speech suggests a desire for a narrative controlled by globalist elites. There you go. A narrative that, if challenged, could unravel their grip on power. And they don't want that, right? And this is why they're cracking down so hard, right? They're cracking down harder than before, right? Which ultimately is going to lead to what? The famine of the word, right? Because this word, this truth, goes against their agenda. It goes against, right, what they want set up, for their NWO, right? New World Order, right? It's completely contrary. The words of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua are contrary, which is going to have them doing what? Cracking down even harder, as we're seeing, again, leading to the famine of the word. So I'll go ahead and grab that. In Amos, it says, Salakia, man. Amos chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Again, we're coming into that time, right, where it's going to be, Esau is going to make it to where it's impossible, right, to go on to any social media platform or whatnot and search up the prophets, man. Why? Because he's going to either get rid of social media, or he's going to put such harsh restriction, which we already know that he's, planning for a digital, system, right? He's making it to where you have to have a digital ID in order to get on to the internet, Matter of fact, I think I looked that up. We go back. See if I can find it. It was actually right here. EU announces an end to online anonymity. Let's see if it'll pull up. It says EU announces an end to online anonymity with introduction of mandatory digital ID, right? So in order to be able to get online, right, in order to get onto the internet, right, you have to have a digital ID, right? You have to have a digital ID, and if you don't, you're not going to be able to get on the internet, right? It says Belgium is joining the EU's push to kill anonymity on the internet, rolling out mandatory electric IDs or EIDs to lock down social media access for its citizens, right? So here you go, right? It says, for years, since 2003, Belgium has offered EIDs as an optional tool, one way to meet the national ID requirement for everyone over 12. But the game's changing. Upgraded with fingerprints since 2020, these cards are already a must for accessing government services online. Now they're set to become the gatekeeper for your tweets, posts, and likes. Right? So at the end of the day, they're just trying to make it to where, again, if you don't have this MOTB, right, the mark of the beast, you're not going to be able to participate in society, man. You know? Which is Revelation 13 and 16, which Lord will, I'll go in on that as well, probably at a later date. But it says right here, it was announced earlier this month that citizens will soon be able to request digital versions of their ID cards that they can use on smartphones by November 26th. The new form of ID will be accepted not only for identification purposes, but also for online authentication, electronic signatures, and for travel between countries within the Schengen zone, right? So there you go, right? Esau making it to where, you're not going to be able to get on, the internet at all. Right. So not only is he going to, highly censor what can be put on there, but he's going to make it hard for you to get on there at all, period. Right. And we understand the men of the Lord, right, are only going to go so far, right, with this technology. A digital ID, some brothers might use it, some brothers won't. Right. But as far as taking the actual mark of the beast, taking the charagma, the men of the Lord, the elect are not going to take it, man. Right? Brothers have said, use AI, right? Use this digital age to your advantage, right? But when it comes to, moving contrary to Yahweh Shem Shai, we're not going to do it, man. Right? Just as we read about our forefathers in, Daniel's the 3rd chapter, right? With Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, right? They didn't bow the knee to Nebuchadnezzar's image, man. And that's what we're moving. That's the same spirit we're moving in, Lord will, man. All the way to the end. But getting back to Amos, the 11th chapter, Amos 8 and verse 11, right, it talks about a famine of the word, where you're not going to be able to get this word, right? They're heavily restricting the internet, right? They're heavily restricting, right, what you're able to say. They got certain algorithms, right, that stop us from saying certain things. We got to code word certain things, right? So if you're not, ultimately hip and you haven't been, listening or paying attention for very long, and you might be confused. But see, ultimately, if the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is dealing with you and you be of the elect, you'll understand, Verse 12, it says, they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. Because again, once the gates of mercy close, that's it, man. That's it. You're not going to be able to find the word. Verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. And that's not talking about actual water, which we are coming into a time where there is going to be a famine of bread, a famine of water, right? But that's ultimately going into, a famine or you desiring, right, to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and not having it, right? Because his word is likened to fountains of living water, So people are going to be out here on their ass, man, without Yahweh Shem Shai, So get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding while you can before it's too late, right? And I'll bring out one of my favorite precepts when speaking on this matter, Isaiah the 55th chapter, right? If you don't already know. It says right here, it says the free offer of mercy at the top, right? The free offer of mercy, right? So the Lord said what? Freely have received, freely give. The prophets are out here, man. It's free. It's not something you got to pay for, right? Jake want to sit there and say, free is for me. But when it comes to this truth, all of a sudden it ain't for him, even though it's free, Jake fucking goddamn dumb as hell, man. You want to call them sawdust children, stupid children, man. But I'll jump down to Isaiah 55 and verse 6. It says, seek ye Yahweh while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near, right? It says, look, let the wicked forsake his way and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon, man. Right? So get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding before it's too late. Turn away from wickedness, right? Turn to righteousness, right? And in doing so, Lord will, if we be of the elect, man, the Lord's going to have mercy on us and forgive us of our sins, man. That's the ultimate goal, man. That's what we need. Right, but again, the point, get it before it's too late. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.